There were things that I thought that I never thought I could think, and I thought them.
Dude, yeah. It's like a heavy, thick drive inside of me.
Yeah.
And when you talk about a gremlin, I got a gremlin inside of me, Nathan. I mean, the deepest temptations I've had in my whole life.
Wow, Nathan really went deep in this scene. So profound, right? Dan, who gets drunk and cuts this family's hair? Pure genius. Kody, on the other hand, walked away from Nathan's little existential ramble with exactly nothing of value. All he learned was that the only people who truly love him are his two youngest, and apparently he should just lean into his inner devil. Brilliant takeaway, Kody. Really. And then there was the murder contemplation. Because, of course, it's totally normal to casually think about that, right? It's not like it's a red flag or anything. But Nathan always seemed harmless until they were both stuck in that car, babbling nonsense. They sounded like complete idiots, honestly. Watching it was borderline embarrassing. Nathan, bless his heart, was probably trying to have a meaningful conversation, speak from the soul and all that. Kody, though, just spouting nonsense and doing his usual thing, deflecting blame like it's an Olympic sport. Classic Kody. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. Oh, Karma is just loving this one, and her name? Carolina. It's almost too perfect how Kody's favorite son-in-law, the only one who's actually part of the Brown family wreath, has managed to charm the whole crew into packing up and moving across the country. With Savannah's move and Janelle snagging her own property, I bet Kody feels like his kidney's been stabbed with more knives than he ever imagined. Honestly, I'm here for it. He's probably seething even more at Caleb now, but hey Kody, you reap what you sow. If you'd treated your family a little better, maybe this wouldn't sting so much. As for poor Robyn, well, looks like being the center of the family is yet another dream dashed. Boo-hoo, Robyn. Cry me a river. But over here in North Carolina, we're living the dream. Gorgeous mountains, stunning ocean views, NASCAR, fishing, farming, the whole package. I'm honestly excited to see how Janelle and her family thrive with all the opportunities this state has to offer. Still, I'm kinda glad to hear Gabe's joining his brothers in Vegas. I guess as long as he has those 5 kids from Robyn's womb, he's not too fussed. Kody, on the other hand, will probably do whatever he can to milk Janelle for all she's worth, land, money, you name it. But I'm really hoping Janelle finally tells him to take a hike. Oh, and Caleb's not the only son-in-law in the family wreath. Mitch gets a spot too. In fact, Mitch is blood. He's Aspen's third cousin, which makes him a cousin of Kody's as well. So romantic, right? Picture it, Kody and Robyn, sitting on a bench, staring at the fish in the pond. I'm honestly gagging just thinking about it. Is anyone else getting the feeling that the drama between Kody and Robyn is completely staged? They've clearly got nothing else going on, so their latest plot twist is that they're suddenly at odds with each other. But really, is the divorce of the OG3 such a huge loss for them? I mean, maybe it's stunned financially, but I seriously doubt it's enough to threaten their marriage. Of course, it's all scripted. What else could it be? They've got no one else to interact with, so they have to make drama where there is none. It's like they think they're performing a Shakespearean tragedy with each fight. Like, I can't respect you anymore because you didn't steal enough money from Janelle's purse last time we saw her. And don't get me started on her dramatic speech about not respecting him in the trailer. It sounded exactly like when she and Meri were fighting over who gets to live in the trees on Coyote Pass, and Robyn dropped that gem. She's my sister wife, and I'm always going to try to work things out with her. Yeah, major monologue vibes. Robyn's whole poor me, I'm suffering with Kody too act. It's just a tactic to deflect the hate she gets for breaking up the family. Let's be real though, they're both cut from the same cloth. Kody will throw her a bone and pretend to fight with her, all while Robyn thinks she's outsmarting the fans who think she's the favorite. And let's face it, every word they say is fake. Their arguments are so obviously scripted to make it seem like they're not all buddy-buddy when we all know they totally are. Honestly, I'd prefer if they just came clean and admitted they're perfectly happy with each other. At least then we could skip all the charades and let them enjoy their little love story without the fake drama. I see you're re-binging Sister Wives and noticing the moments that make you feel all sorts of things. So we're talking about that scene in Season 1, Episode 2, where Kody's getting ready to leave and head to Robyn's place. He casually mentions it to the kids, saying, "Going to see Robyn. Wanna help me pack?" And sure enough, Gabe and Savannah, being all adorable and sweet, fold his clothes and pack his bag for him like little champs while Kody hands them things. It should be a cute family moment, right? But there's this gut-wrenching undercurrent, especially if you've had any experience with situations like this in real life. For someone who's been through a similar dynamic, like, say, watching your dad pack up to go be with the other woman and her kids, it can feel like a punch to the gut. And you have to wonder how those little kids, in that moment, were processing their dad leaving their home to go stay with another family. Even if they grew up in a polygamous setup, seeing your dad go off to spend time with someone who's not your mom and her kids, it's gotta be confusing, right? You know, it's one thing when you're older and can sort of grasp the bigger picture of polygamy, but when you're that young, it must have felt pretty surreal, maybe even a little heartbreaking, to watch your dad walk out the door to another woman's house. As an adult now, it's hard not to see the parallels. My own experience growing up with a dad who cheated on my mom left me with memories of him packing up to go be with the other woman, and years later, he still calls her kids his beautiful daughter and so on. And yeah, it still stings. But hey, I get it. The Browns are polygamists, so it's not the same as a traditional family situation. The kids knew about Robyn and probably didn't have the same hang-ups about it as someone from a monogamous family would. They had been around polygamy enough to understand the structure, and for some of the younger ones, it might not have been as big of a deal. It's probably a different perspective when you've grown up seeing this dynamic play out rather than being introduced to it later on. Still, it's tough because no matter how normal it might have been in their world, it doesn't stop those small moments from feeling emotionally complicated. So I'm diving back into a Flagstaff-era rewatch, and let me tell you, it's a struggle, guys. Those Garrison moments, oof, but here's something I've noticed. In the talking head segments, Meri, Christine, and Janelle all casually mention how the family dynamics shifted when Robyn joined the picture, and yes, picture, because why not make it even more ridiculous, right? Totally get that, of course. Introducing a new wife into a polygamous setup will shake things up, but no one seems to mention that this is also the exact same time they invited cameras into their homes to film every single moment of their lives. You don't think that might have slightly impacted the dynamic? Like, is there some unspoken rule that they can't mention the cameras? Here's the thing. Most of us, myself included, love to pick one or two aha moments and say, that's when everything went downhill. But in reality, there's probably a lot more going on. My take? Polygamy itself is inherently problematic. The family was already on shaky ground before the cameras started rolling. The cameras only exposed the issues and, let's be real, probably inflated Kody's ego to new heights. And then, of course, Robyn. Just my 2 cents, but the Browns definitely got a lot out of this show. I mean, let's be honest, it pushed them out of their community and opened doors to opportunities and perspectives they probably never would have had back in their hometown. Financially, things went through the roof for them. But funny enough, none of the drama centers around their newfound fame or wealth. Oh no, all the conflicts are still squarely about Robyn. You've got Kody, who can't seem to tear himself away from Robyn and her kids, leaving the other wives and kids in the dust. Robyn's always grabbing more than her fair share of resources. She doesn't like family traditions. No problem, she just decides they're not doing them anymore, and so on and so forth. You can't have 4 wives and act like you're only interested in one, and somehow expect everything to be just fine. And for the love of all that is good, Robyn's the one who really needs to teach everyone what pink elephant in the room means. Let's be clear, pink elephants are what you see after a night of too many cocktails. So unless everyone's been drinking their weight in wine, there's no need for the pink part. Just call it the elephant in the room, Robyn. Seriously. Before listing the McMansion for sale, Kody really missed an opportunity to team up with some house renovators from HGTV. I mean, seriously, he could have had a whole squad working on the inside, and then another group to tackle the outside space, which, by the way, is a heated driveway. Yep, that's the main entertaining/play space. Who's going to pay the asking price for this place? Despite the endless windows and sliding doors, the inside is dark and outdated, with zero curb appeal. Oh, and good luck finding usable outdoor space too. Oh, and here's a thought. Maybe hire an auctioneer to get rid of some of that grotesque art and decor they've spent tens of thousands on. Don't forget Kody's collection of clothing and personal items, because apparently he needed 4 of everything while the OG 3 were still pretending to be his wives. Also, am I the only one who missed the memo on the new rule for hanging art? Because I'm still hanging pictures at eye level. What's the deal with art now being inches from the ceiling? I must have missed that trend. Honestly, they could have stretched the whole renovation into a season's worth of episodes, just cleaning out and updating Flagstaff's most infamous house. A fresh coat of neutral paint on the inside would have done wonders for brightening up the place. But no, that wasn't on the agenda. And I get the whole earth tone thing that's popular in Arizona homes, but the real problem here is the hoarder chic decor. The purple in the master bedroom is so garish, it clashes with literally everything else. And let's not even get into the random hanging trinkets all over the house. A decorator to embrace the earth tones and add some lighting would have been a game changer. And as for the house's energy, someone's going to need to sage the place for weeks to get rid of the bad vibes. I wouldn't even go near it. My theory? Kody and Robyn had to hang all the art as high as possible to keep Meri from adding her own personal touches with Sharpies. I can just imagine them trying to keep that kid from redecorating, and the lack of curb appeal is honestly mind-blowing. The main door opens right into the kitchen, and the view from the outside? Pure genius. The last house Meri rented was 10 times better inside and out. But hey, what do I know? Oh, absolutely. Does anyone else just want to scream at how infuriating it is to see a parent's hesitation about surgery, especially when it's so obviously necessary? Kody is more concerned about Isabel's appearance, as if that's the problem here, than the fact that she's literally in daily pain. And let's not forget how he loves to downplay it by belittling her for not doing those so-called exercises, which honestly are complete nonsense. Sure, some exercises might help a bit, but eventually, surgery is unavoidable. Waiting this long for her to get it is a joke. She should have had it ages ago. I can't even imagine what it's like for her, screaming in pain, just begging for someone to make it stop. And all because they're dragging their feet. And don't even get me started on that time he actually thought it'd be fine to send her alone for surgery. Like, what is wrong with him? Honestly, he should be ashamed of himself, but let's be real, he's just as bad as Christine, if not worse. He's the one who let this go on for so long. I just went through a spinal fusion myself, and let me tell you, it was absolute hell. I had benign masses in my spinal cord, and now have hardware in my back. If anyone knows what it's like to go through something like that, it's me. So, for them to let Isabel suffer in pain for this long is beyond cruel. And the fact that Kody didn't even pay for any of it? Christine had to pick up the slack and take care of everything by herself. It's almost unforgivable. That's not parenting, that's neglect. And when he had the audacity to comment on her scar, that might be the most inappropriate thing a parent could ever say. First of all, he's focusing on her appearance. Again, while ignoring the fact that she just went through a major surgery to stop years of pain. Second, why the heck is he so concerned about her looks right now? She's probably struggling with insecurities over everything, including the scar. Instead of making her feel bad about it, he should be telling her that scar is a badge of honor, a symbol of her strength, something to be proud of. Anyone who really loves her will see that scar and think it's beautiful because it's part of her journey. But no, Kody's more concerned about how it'll look on her. Great dad material, right? Sure, he might have had his moments, but this is rock bottom. Kody's request for half of the money from Christine's house for Coyote Pass is absolutely wild. Seriously, the audacity. He talks about a 50-50 split, but only wants Christine's money while offering her absolutely nothing in return. What's her 50% supposed to be? The house is hers. She paid for everything in it, from the roof over their heads to the kids' medical bills, everything. Meanwhile, Kody's out here acting like he needed Christine's cash to pay for the land when his favorite wife is living it up in a mansion. Talk about playing the victim. Kody and Robyn have worn that card so thin, it's practically transparent. Let's be real though, the people who got really screwed in this whole mess are Meri and Janelle. They both likely chipped in for the down payments on Robyn and Christine's houses, and even contributed to Coyote Pass, yet in the end, they got the short end of the stick. And don't even get me started on Kody's excuse for the mansion, that it's for housing his kids for the next 15 years. So the other wives' kids get leftovers, especially since theirs are older and, apparently, less tender, whatever that means. Once the OG 13 turn 18, it's like, here's a car, a little money, now get out of my face. Seriously, that's the plan. And let's talk about the family finances for a second. We don't know how that was handled. Did the family money go into down payments for the houses? Were there any paybacks into the fund? Did everyone contribute equally? Or was it more like a tithing thing where they only gave a percentage of what they earned? Robyn didn't even have her own income, so it's unclear what Meri, Christine, and Janelle actually brought in from their NLM ventures. There's just too many unanswered questions here. But one thing's for sure, Kody's a greedy, unfair guy. After everything started falling apart, Christine leaving, Janelle hanging with her, it feels like Kody and Robyn went on some kind of spending spree, buying up anything they could. Art, statues, cars, jewelry. Almost like they were saying, if you're not going to stay loyal, I'll just take it all. They were on a shopping bender, draining the family account so no one else could have it. And Janelle's even said there was money being spent on random things, just piling up the bills. It's all part of the plan. Rack up charges, add to the mess, and leave everyone else with nothing. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.